Hey there everyone. Okay, so today we're going to talk about lateral ankle sprains, a really common injury that can happen just out of the blue. You can be walking down the street, miss a step and you roll your ankle. More commonly, it can happen on a running trail or when you're out running and you step into a pothole, or playing ball sports. You land on the ball or you land on someone's foot and your foot goes over. Now, what happens when we sprain our ankle is as our foot rolls inwards, we call this inversion. As it over inverts, the ligaments and the structures on the outside of the ankle, they become overstretched and they tear. Now you've got several ligaments and a joint capsule on the outside of our ankle here, and what they do is they help to resist any inward movement of the foot. Now you've got three main ligaments for the ankle, one at the front, the anterior talofibular ligament, one underneath in the middle called the calcaneofibular ligament, and one at the back called the posterior talofibular ligament. Now these ligaments in reality are just a thickening of the joint capsule. Around our ankle joint we've got a joint capsule that has a membrane on the inside called a synovial membrane, and that membrane secretes synovial fluid that helps to keep the ankle lubricated so the joints can all glide and move really well. Now the thickening, anatomically, we break them into ligaments for surgical reasons and for classifying injuries. Now these ligaments, when we roll the ankle, we can tear them, and we scale that as well. We can grade it from a grade 1 through to a grade 3. A grade 3 is a complete rupture, and a grade 1 is a mild sprain where you get some micro tearing of the ligament. Now you can also damage just one, but you can also damage all three. That would be a much more serious ankle sprain. Now, you can also damage the tendons that stabilize the ankle. You've got two tendons that run around the outside of the ankle here, and they help to stop the foot from turning in. They pull the foot outwards. These are called the peroneal tendons, and sometimes you can damage them, sprain them. You can have longitudinal tears in them. That's a more serious injury as well. Another common injury that you can get, well, not as common, but it also happens, is what we call a high ankle sprain. You've got two bones in the front of the ankle here. We've got what we call the tibia and the fibula. Now, what can sometimes happen is one of the ligaments through the front here and another ligament that connects these two bones together, called the syndesmosis, they can be spread apart and you can tear them. That's what we call a high ankle sprain. Now, different injuries to the ankle will result in different areas of pain. If you've got pain more to the front and radiating up, that's going to be more of a high ankle sprain. Pain around what we call the anterior lateral portion, that would be more of what we call the calcaneofibular ligament, but you can have pain all the way around, and that would be more of the several ligaments being involved, or in the tendons if you've got pain around this region. Now, sometimes you can also fracture it. So if you've got pain in particular down at this portion of the foot here, this part we call the styloid process or the fifth metatarsal, or on the bony aspect of this ankle, sometimes you can get an avulsion fracture, or you can fracture the bone through here called the fibula. They're more serious injuries, and if you can't weight bear on your foot straight away, that's an indication that you might need an x-ray of the ankle. Now, when you first sprain your ankle, it'll balloon up and you'll get a lot of bruising around the ankle. And the more serious the injury, the more it'll balloon and the more you'll get bruising, even up to the outside portion of the lower leg. Now, in the initial stage of the injury, you want to rest it. You actually want to take away any weight from it, especially if you can't weight bear through it. So if you're finding it difficult to walk and it's really quite painful, then you need to wrap your ankle up, use crutches to get around for a few days until you can start weight bearing. If you can weight bear straight away and it's not too painful, then keep doing it. Now, during the injury, you want to compress it as well. So get a compression sock, the recovery socks from someone like 2XU, or you can use an ACE bandage, a compression bandage, to wrap it up. That'll help to keep the swelling down. I would stay away from icing it if you can. The ice will numb it and it'll help to take away the pain, but icing delays healing. The inflammation is actually there for a reason. That inflammation helps with bringing in all the good cellular structures that help with healing of tissues. Now, Compression, elevating it, are going to be two of the best things, but also effleurage type massage. You can do gentle milking type massage where you're taking the swelling, you're trying to push it up the leg through to the back of the knee, can help as well. And in particular, elevating your foot on a pillow at night time to keep the fluid away. If you can, after about 48 hours, you can start putting a heat pack on, and that'll help to get blood flushing through the area and flush out the old inflammatory mediators and bring in all the new fresh blood flow. Now, once you can start moving it, that's where in a second we're going to cover a bunch of exercises that we want you to start doing. And the first of those is going to be what we call ankle circles. Okay, so the first exercise we're going to do after the ankle sprain begins to recover a little bit is ankle circles. Now prop your leg up on a rolled up towel or a foam roller or a box, and we're going to start by just rotating the ankle in circles, clockwise and anti-clockwise. Now you need to make sure that when you do this that the pain is kept to a minimum. It shouldn't be excruciating. It's okay to have a little bit of pain, but on a scale of 1 to 10, around about a 1, 2, 3 out of 10 is fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our foot and we're just going to rotate clockwise about 10 times and anti-clockwise about 10 times. The bigger you do the circles, the better, but if it's painful, you can just start with very small circles, and as it improves, you can increase those circles. Start with about 10 repetitions and build up to 20 as the pain improves. Do it 2 to 3 times a day. The important thing with the ankle sprain is to get as much movement through the ankles, the joint capsule, the tendons, the ligaments as soon as you can post-injury. The next exercise we want to do is after you can move your ankle without too much pain in doing the ankle circles, we're going to move on to doing the alphabet. So what we want to do is we want to start with drawing the alphabet. So we're going to do A, B, C, all the way through to Z. Now, if it's still quite painful, then you do baby letters. So just do little tiny rotations, but you're going to gradually build up to doing big, exaggerated letters with your foot. That's going to get that ankle, the tendons, the ligaments, and everything moving once again. All the soft tissues, you're going to increase blood flow to them, and you're going to start to move the ligaments that have been strained a little bit, and that's going to promote healing. Give that a go. Okay, so the next exercise we want to do in the series is, as it starts to improve a little bit more, we then want to take our foot and move it through what we call plantar flexion and dorsiflexion. So we're going to take our foot and we're going to actively use the muscles in the front of our leg to try and pull our foot towards us. So we're going to bend the toes back, and we're going to do this through a pain-free range of motion. So a little bit of pain is okay. So we're going to pull our foot back, we're going to hold it there for a few seconds, and then we're going to relax, and then we're going to take it, we're going to point it the other way. So we're going to point our toes down, and then we're going to come back again. Now, when you point your toes down, you're actually going to stretch one of the ligaments that gets injured. So you want that to be pain-free, and just do it gently. You can also pop your foot up on top of a roller once again, and we can rest our foot there. We pull our foot towards us, hold it there for a few seconds, and then we're going to take it the other way. We're going to point it down. This direction, once again, you just need to be careful of the outside of the ankle here, that you're not straining the ligament too much. Repeat that about 10 times each direction, and do it a few times a day. Okay, now it's been a few days post your original lateral ankle injury, and we now want to try and give the foot some more breathing room. We want to try and give the joints some more space to move. You've been doing the exercises, you've been doing what we call your foot flexors, your alphabets, your foot circles, and that's given the foot a little bit of extra range of motion. But now we want to loosen all the structures off that restrict the ankle and can tighten up after the ankle injury. So we're going to get a ball, and we're going to pop the ball underneath our calf. We want something soft underneath so the ball doesn't move around too much. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take the ball, and we're going to roll around on it. So we're going to break the leg up into areas though. So you're going to keep the ball. We can start at the top or the bottom. So I'll start at the bottom, and we're going to get the ball, and we're going to use our other foot to sort of keep our leg and foot still and to guide it. I'm starting on the outside of the lower part of my leg, and I'm going to move to the middle, and then I'm going to move over to the inside, and I'm just going to roll around. And then as I go, I'm just going to move up the calf. So I'm going to go to the next part up, use my other foot to help keep things still. We're going to roll on the outside, through the very middle, and then through the very inside. Now to put more pressure, put your leg on top, and you can roll around and really get in and knead things through. Okay, you're going to work your way all the way to the top of the calf, just so if you've got your kneecap, as you come down, just where the muscle belly is there would be the upper portion. Don't go underneath the kneecap. We're going to do the same thing, start on the outside, move to the middle, and then get into the inside. You can put your other leg on top to get into it, and that'll help to loosen that off. You're going to get the ball again, and you're going to do it on the outside of the leg. You've got two tendons on the outside of the leg, and these tendons form some muscles up the outside of the leg here. They're called the peroneal muscles. We're going to get the ball, and we're going to use it, and we're going to knead through the muscles on the outside of the leg, dig into them, and really try and get rid of the tightness that develops in these muscles. So do that whole stretch, and you don't need to worry about doing the tendons. We're just going to do from about 5 centimeters above the ankle bone all the way up to the bottom of the knee. So just get in and knead that through. That'll take you about 5 to 10 minutes. You can also use a roller. You can either use the soft foam rollers or the rumble rollers. Now the rumble roller, same concept as with the ball. You're going to get the roller starting on the outside, move to the middle, and then the inside. You want to break the leg up into portions. The lower third, the middle third, the upper third. Outside, middle, and inside. You've got to get into all the regions. And you want to go transversely as well as longitudinally. So really get in. You can lift your bum off the ground and use your hands. Move on to the next portion up. If it's too much to do one leg, then do 2 legs at the same time. That's going to help to get everything moving, get blood flowing through the area as well, and give the joint space to move. Okay, so now we've loosened things off, we've got in, we've trigger pointed all those little trigger points that have developed, the muscle's moving better. Now we want to start stretching things out. So to stretch things out, you can grab a band, a belt, or you can roll a towel up, and the towel will work fine. You don't need any special fancy bands. Grab the band, we're going to pop it under the ball of our foot. We're going to grab the band, hold it in your 2 hands. Now, pulling back on your foot with your leg kept straight, sitting up tall from the hips. We're then going to lean into the stretch. We're going to hold that there. We're not going to poke our head forwards, and we're not going to round our back. We're going to keep our back nice and straight. We're going to lean into it. We're going to hold this for about a minute, and you're going to feel a stretch through the back of the leg, upper calf, lower hamstrings, behind the knee. This is a fascial stretch. It's going to help us to stretch the fascia that runs under the foot, the Achilles, the calf, and the hamstrings. And you're going to do this, do it about 2 to 3 times, each time for 1 minute. Give that a go. Okay, so the next exercise we're going to do is another stretch, but this stretch is going to focus on the calf itself. So we're going to get into the superficial muscle at the top here called the gastrocnemius. Now, all you need is a step. This step is about 2 inches. For some people, this is going to be way too high. You might need about an inch only, or other people might need it to be a little bit higher. You can grab a book or a cooking tray, anything that can create a ledge. We're going to pop it on the ground. We're going to pop the ball of our foot on top. Our heel is going to be on the ground. We're going to take one leg off, and we're going to lean our body forwards from the ankle. We don't want to break at the hips. We're going to hold, lean forwards. We're going to feel a stretch through the upper calf. We're going to hold that for a minute. Now the other version, we're going to bend our knee. We're then going to lean forwards again, and this is going to get into the muscle underneath the gastrocnemius. And you're going to feel this stretch a little bit lower down through here. And once again, we're going to hold this for about 1 minute. Okay, give that. Okay, so now we want to start trying to strengthen the tendons and the muscles around the ankle. Now to do that, we're just going to grab a piece of TheraBand, and we're going to tie 2 knots in it. And what we're going to do is an exercise that we call north, east, south, and west. So first of all, we're going to pop this on our foot, and we're going to pop it on the outside of the foot. Now the first exercise, our foot is going to go from in to out. Okay, now you wrap this around your other foot, and you can tie it to a chair or a table, something heavy set that's not going to move as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the band with some resistance with the other foot. The foot's going to turn in, and I'm going to take my foot and I'm going to turn outwards. Okay, so we're doing what we call foot eversion. So we're everting the foot, and this is going to help to strengthen the muscles on the outside here. And we're going to do that around about 20 to 30 times. So just taking it in and out. Now the next exercise is the reverse direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my legs and I'm going to cross my legs over one another. Okay, so I can do it like that. So the resistance is pulling outwards. So you can also tie it to a table as well. And what I'm going to do is take my foot from out and I'm going to turn my foot in. So it's going to in and out, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do that about 20 to 30 times. This is called foot inversion, and this is going to help to support the tendons that support the inside of the foot. Now the next exercise we're going to do is we're going to grab the band and we're going to do what we call plantar flexion. So we can prop our foot up again on something, and we're going to take our foot and we're going to push down. And we're going to do this about 20 to 30 times. Okay? Now the next direction is going to be from pulling in front of us. So we're going to grab a band that's tied to something. We're going to pop our foot up on an object, wrap the band around our foot, move yourself away from the band to give it some resistance. Okay, we're going to take our foot and we're going to pull up and down. Okay, so we're doing all four directions. We're going to do north, east, south, and west. So we're just going to strengthen the muscles that stabilize the ankle. Okay, give that a go. So the next exercise we want to do in the progression is we're going to start trying to do weight-bearing strength activities. So we're going to do calf raises, and we're going to do a series of different calf raises, and you can progress these as your ankle starts to feel even better. So we're going to start with, you need something to hold on to. We're going to just stand on flat ground, and what we're going to do is we're going to do two-legged calf raises. We're just going to take our time. We're going to go 3 seconds up and 3 seconds down. So we're just going to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to hold for a brief pause. Then we're going to go down for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's the first part of it. Now, as you get stronger, we're then going to start progressing to alternating the load from one leg to another. So we're going to take 3 seconds to go up again. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to transfer my body weight to one side. So I'm going to shift over to one side, and then I'm going to come down on one leg. This leg stays in contact with the ground. I put my heel down, we come up on 2, 3 seconds up, 1, 2, 3. Transfer my body weight to one side, and then we come down, 1, 2, 3. Put my foot back down, and we repeat again. And you do around about 10 to 20 repetitions on one leg, and then do the other leg. Now, once that becomes pain-free, we can then do single legs. So we're going to take 3 seconds to go up. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Then we take one foot off, and then we're going to take 3 seconds to come down. 1, 2, 3. Put your foot back on, up for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Transfer weight, down on one leg. 1, 2, 3. Do about 10 to 20 repetitions. Once you can do that, we can then try and do single leg calf raises. So we're going to stand on one leg, we're going to take the other leg off, and we're going to do the same thing on one leg only. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, as high as you can, and then down, 1, 2, 3. And do the same thing, do about 10 to 20 repetitions, gradually build up. Now once you can do them on the ground, we can then move to something that's going to increase the muscle's range of motion that it moves through. So you're going to stand on the edge of a step this time. So we're going to hold on, we're going to stand on the edge of a step, then we're going to start with 2 legs. So you're going to be right at the bottom, we're going to go up, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, hold for a brief pause, down, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do the exact same thing. So 2 legs, up, pause, down, about 10 to 20 repetitions. Now we're going to do it again, but we're going to shift our weight to one side. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, shift our weight to one side, and we 1, 2, 3. Put the foot down again, make the weight even. Stand up on your tiptoes again. 1, 2, 3. Transfer your weight. 1, 2, 3. All the way down, full range of motion. About 10 to 20 repetitions as well. Now, once you can do that, we're going to do up on 2, down on 1. So you're going to go up, 1, 2, 3. Take 1 foot off, down for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. All the way down to the bottom. Put your foot back on. Up on 2 legs. Up, 1, 2, 3. 1 foot off, down again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you want to do about 10 to 20 repetitions once again. Now we can progress and we can make it even harder, and we can do some single leg raises. So we're going to stand on the edge of a step, and we're going to have 1 foot on. We're going to go up, 1, 2, 3. Hold there for a brief pause, and down. 1, 2, 3. Up, 1, 2, 3. Pause, and down. 1, 2, 3. Full range of motion. Make sure you're on the ball of your foot, and build up to about 10 to 20 repetitions. Gradually over time, build up and try and achieve 20 repetitions without stopping. That'll be great for helping build ankle stability. Give that. Okay, so now we've started to build some strength and the ankles, for the most part, pain-free. We're going to start doing some single leg balancing activities. So we're going to start by trying to balance on one leg. Now initially you might need to use a broomstick or something to hold on to, a chair. And all we're going to do is just gently hold this in our fingertips, and we're going to try and stand on one leg. And we're going to try and balance there. And you want to try and do a couple of sets of about 10 to 30 seconds and try and build up over time to that 30-second mark. Now once you can do that and you're not too wobbly, we're then going to take away the broomstick or the object, and we're going to balance on one foot. So we're just going to practice balancing on one foot and aim for building up once again from about 10 to 30 seconds, just standing there. And it should be, for the most part, a very, very low pain level, about 1 to 3 out of 10 maximum. Okay, aim for about 30 seconds. You can also try and put your arms across your chest, and you can also try and close your eyes and balance there as well, and this becomes a fair bit harder. And once again, aim for about 10 to 30 seconds of balancing before you fall over. Now once you can do that, we can then make it a little bit harder. So we can grab a towel, and you can put a few towels on top of one another. We can grab a pillow. So one towel isn't going to be that difficult. So you're going to stand on the towel, same thing, one leg up in the air, and you're going to practice balancing on one foot. And you're going to try and aim for 10 to 30 seconds, building up to that 30-second mark. Now, if you can build up to arms across your chest without your arms by your side, that's another progression. And then once again, closing your eyes will make it harder again to keep your balance. So you keep that balance there without falling over, and you can see it becomes quite difficult. Then aim for, once again, 10 to 30 seconds. Okay. If you want to make it even harder again, build the height up, use softer pillows, or use a Bosu ball, and that'll make it even harder. Ideally, before you started getting back into your extended walks, hiking, your running, you would be able to do this pain-free, and you want to be able to aim for that 30-second mark so you don't risk re-injuring that ankle. Give that a go.